What's going on, guys, and welcome back to life's biggest questions. The ocean is big, it's beautiful, it's blue, and it's full of wonder. And by wonder, I mean bone-chilling mysteries that will make you question your existence. With 95% of the ocean still undiscovered, one can only imagine the horrors lurking below. I'm Taylor McWaters, you know exactly why you clicked this list. Here are the top 10 real-life unsolved ocean mysteries. Let's do it. Kicking off the list at number 10, the kraken. We can't talk about the ocean without mentioning this squishy nightmare. The giant squid is actually not that far-fetched. Some of the creatures in the ocean are massive as is, like this manta ray off the coast of Trinidad. But we're potentially talking about the kraken here, like Pirates of the Caribbean grabbing mateys and throwing them into the water. For ages now, sailors from Norway and Greenland have shared tales of a giant sea monster with tentacles big enough to pluck you right out of your boat. In 1857, Danish naturalist Japetus Steenstrup found a large squid beak and soon after was sent parts of another specimen from the Bahamas. So he concludes that the kraken is definitely real and it's part of a species of giant squid called Arthitusis dux, which translates to ruling squid in Latin, which sounds probably more accurate than how I just butchered that other name. Very little is known about giant squid. They're so hard to track, but we did get a photo of one back in 2005 and a video of another in 2013. Check it out. Do you think there's millions of these things out there? I sure hope not. Hopefully there's like a couple still lurking around. I don't mess with lakes, let alone oceans. No thanks. And before we continue on with this list, if you want to go ahead and give us a thumbs up, that would be awesome. It really does help our channel out so much. You guys rock. Let's bounce right back into this list. Number 9, the Baltic Sea anomaly. Back in 2011, divers accidentally discovered the 60-meter wide, 300-meter long entity. They found it 90 meters down in the Baltic Sea right off the coast of Botnia. It's round in shape, so naturally people think, okay, maybe it's a UFO that was lost many moons ago. The diving team returned to that spot, obviously, but they couldn't get a clear shot because of these mysterious electrical interferences. Those aliens in there have ad blocker or something, I don't know what's up. Samples of the rock were obviously studied, and the Ocean X team gave them to a professor at Stockholm University, and among the samples were granite and sandstone. So do you guys think this is just a natural rock formation, or is something else going on here? Some say it's the Millennium Falcon. I mean, the force is definitely strong with this one. Number 8, the 1986 submarines. Alright, 4 submarines went missing. Let's talk about them. We have the USS Scorpion, the INS Dakar, French submarine Minerve, and the Soviet submarine K-129. They all went missing in the same year. They all went missing in 1968. Minerve and Dakar went missing just 4 days apart, and to this day we've never figured out what happened to the Minerve or where it went, anything at all. Was it in the middle of the ocean, stuck between an ancient civilization? No, it was actually only an hour from its home port, which is what makes this so weird. Now, this was many years ago, so I'm sure something was just malfunctioning naturally. Tech back then wasn't as smooth as today's standards. Like the USS Scorpion, for example. One of the leading theories for that disappearance is that the garbage disposal unit malfunctioned, caught on fire, and then blew up. Guy's trying to toss out a Snickers wrapper, ends up blowing 99 of his friends to smithereens. Not fun. The Americans were gathering intel on the Soviets at the time, so another theory, of course, as to why this massive submarine went missing is that a torpedo went off in the launch chamber. Somebody may have clicked the wrong button by accident. Either that or it was the kraken. I'll take both. Number 7, the Bermuda Triangle. Also referred to as the Devil's Triangle, Illuminati confirmed, or Limbo of the Lost, the Bermuda Triangle, of course, is located in the North Atlantic Ocean, spanning over 500,000 square miles. When Christopher Columbus was sailing that area, he claimed to have seen a large ball of light in the sky that crashed into the horizon. Maybe it was the sun, I don't know, just a guess. He missed the mark with the whole sailing and discovering thing, I think. Again, people naturally think that this ball of light or whatever's going on in this triangle is alien in nature, but who really knows anymore? The news is showing aliens every other day. I have no idea. In 1945, on the afternoon of December 5th, there were 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers that flew from Fort Lauderdale. They left at 2:10 p.m. and the last radio contact they had was at 4 p.m. They all disappeared. All 5 planes disappeared just like that, along with their 27 men. Triangles are scary, man. Number 6, the Dragon's Triangle. See? Oh, you thought there was only one spooky triangle in town. Think again. There's actually like 12. The Dragon's Triangle is located in the Pacific. It's like the evil sister of the Bermuda Triangle on the other side. Just like the Bermuda one, this triangle also takes the blame for disappearing ships and planes. One of the most intriguing parts of this triangle is this monument that sits at the bottom of the ocean inside of the triangle. It's called the Yonaguni Monument. The structure was discovered in the 80s near Yonaguni Island in Japan, and the claim is that this was once an ancient city. It's 165 feet long and 65 feet wide, and we're pretty torn over this one. Also, it's a pretty small city. Some think that it's man-made, with the lines being so straight, it almost looks like there's paths that were carved, there's like little stairways. I can totally see how this resembles something like the pyramids of Egypt. Natural, beautiful, amazing, but definitely man-made. But the fact that it's so deep underwater makes us think that it was a natural formation, right? The footage of it is pretty incredible, and if I were to come across this while I was swimming, there's no way I would think it's natural in any way.
The main feature of Unigini Monument is a rectangular formation made from sandstone, measuring 150 meters by 40 meters and reaching 27 meters in height.
Number 5. The HMS Daedalus. This 19th century warship belonged to the Royal Navy. It was this big Leda-class beauty equipped with 19 guns and launched at Woolwich Dockyard in 1844. 4 years later, Captain McCuhay, along with his officers and crew, set sail to St. Helena, but during their commute, they were visited. This is why we have the guns on the side of the ship. If any trouble comes along, pirates, krakens, whatever the case, we're good. This visitor did come from the sea, but it came in the form of a 60-foot serpent. It hung around for about 20 minutes with its head breaking the surface of the water. The captain said that it was so close under the ship that if it was one of his crew members under there, he could have easily told you which one it was. So the water wasn't choppy or cloudy, it was actually quite clear. Do we think 60-foot long sea snakes still exist? I'm going to say yes. Number 4, the Gulf of Mexico shipwreck. Once I saw a ghost ship as a kid, that was all it took. I was scared forever, never going in the ocean again. Period. This next one definitely hits close to home. The Gulf of Mexico is no stranger to shipwrecks. There's about 4,000 laying down there right now as we speak. That's what happens when you steal buckets of gold and then try and flee on a dinghy made of wood. You're gonna sink, of course. So when Exxon oil workers found this sunken shipwreck 2,600 feet below the sea, they were pumped. They immediately told the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management, who later tried to explore the wreck. Now, teams tried to explore the wreck, keyword tried, but during its first attempts, equipment kept failing. The sub they were planning on using as well malfunctioned right before departure. Video would cut out, sonar wouldn't work, so they sent the Navy out there. They sent a research sub, but the rover wasn't operational once it got there. Everything was messed up. The arms were too tiny as well, it couldn't do anything. They had no way of discovering this thing, really. That's for sure haunted. That's like a graveyard. Like, I wouldn't go in the woods and start exploring an area where a fatal bus crash happened. No chance. This is the same. It's just underwater. That's bad juju. All these shipwrecks are just bad juju. Leave that cursed gold. Haven't you seen Pirates of the Caribbean? Nah, I'm ranting. I'm upset. Number 3, the Milky Sea phenomenon. This one you can see from space, and scientists still aren't quite sure why that is. The Milky Sea phenomenon was first heard about in 1964. Captain Raphael Semmes journaled it aboard his CSS Alabama. He wrote about passing from the deep blue waters into a patch of water so bright it startled him. He continues on saying the whole face of nature seemed to change, and with a little stretch of the imagination, the Alabama might have been conceived to be a phantom ship lit up by the sickly and unearthly glare of a phantom sea. Quite the quote, Captain. So what in the Jack Sparrow is going on? Is this guy drunk? What is he talking about? Bioluminescence is part of the reason for this ghostly bright blue appearance. Part of the reason. Sailors say there was something sinister about it deep down. It can span about 100,000 square miles and last for a few nights. So I don't blame these sailors for losing some hours of sleep. In 2005, we got low orbit satellites to snap a pic of this phenomenon, but even so, we don't fully understand why it happens to this degree. Number 2, Bermeja. The vanishing island. Somebody tell Wonder Woman we found no man's land. The island called Bermeja was seen on several maps from, well, beginning all the way back in the 16th century to now. But in 1997, it wasn't seen during a survey, and again in 2009, when researchers went to find it, it was gone. It had vanished. It was originally charted off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, and it was an 80 square kilometer island. But the leading theory to its absence was that this cartographer put a fake island on the map to spot the copycats. I mean, that's one way to watermark your work, but do we believe it? No, not really. Some cartographers say that the island has been sunk since 1844. Who knows? And finally, number 1, Atlantis. Speaking of sinking islands, of course we have to end on the lost city of Atlantis. Wonder Woman's home, and now we're talking about Aquaman's. Okay, something's going on here. This map is from 1664. Now, it doesn't have Google Street View yet, but the creator of the map, Athanasius Kircher, a scholar who studied ancient Egypt and volcanoes, included an island that doesn't exist. what is going on with these islands? Where are they going? He claimed that the island was sourced from Egyptian maps way before, that they found a map in those archives. This is starting to feel like national treasure, and I'm a little bit excited. The first story of Atlantis was written in 360 BC. It was told in two of Plato's dialogues. It was told in the Timaeus and the Critias, and the description he gave was much different than how we would imagine Atlantis now. He described it as the opposite of a perfect society. It had become corrupt by its wealth. Researchers have come to a conclusion that if this island was not underwater and still on the surface today, odds are they would probably try and kill us or rob us. Probably both. Nothing like Disney's Atlantis at all. That movie actually made me want to go find this place so bad. Question for you guys before we wrap up. Would you rather go and explore the moon or go and explore the lost ruins of Atlantis? Let us know in the comments down below. We're curious here. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around. You guys rock. Those were just 10 of the many unsolved ocean mysteries. I'm sure there's much more to come. But until then, I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Keep being you, and we'll see you next time on Life's Biggest Questions. Peace.